Hello everyone and welcome to my YouTube channel. Just a short introduction. I've always loved playing video games and whatnot, enjoy watching them. And I came across this game. This was a game that I figured I'd watch one of my favorite YouTubers do a playthrough on. And turns out none of them have covered it yet. So I thought I'd take the leap, start my own YouTube channel. A lot of my friends have been telling me to do it. And we'll start with a playthrough on Slay the Princess. So we'll jump right into it. Chapter 1.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin
Oh, I can move.
is a princess.
Okay, princess.
You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Seems a little dire. Okay, we have some options. Maybe the only reason she's going is because she's locked up. Nah. This seems kind of bad though, doesn't it? Can't someone else do this? Forget it, I'm not dying. I'm not doing this. Have you considered that maybe I'm okay with the world ending? Okay, a little bit of doomer action. Do I get some sort of reward for doing this? Okay, thanks for telling me what to do. So you've always wanted to offer Monarch. I like this one. I mean, kind of straight to I like number 1 and number 3. Let's go with number 3.
Does it? Are you a monarchist?
Maybe.
Is slaying a princess that much worse than slaying a fisherman or a miller or a seamstress? If anything, slaying a princess is much better than slaying a seamstress. Seamstresses contribute something of value to society.
I see what you're getting at. Okay, so awesome. You get to go with the other choice.
I'm talking about the end of everything as we know it. No more birds, no more trees, and perhaps most problematically of all, no more people. You have to put an end to her.
It doesn't really tell me why, though. Okay, yeah, maybe we'll get into why here.
Look, you're already on the path that leads to the cabin. Why would you be here if it weren't to complete a very important task?
You
If
tell
made
me,
it this
buddy.
far, you might as well reach the end of your journey.
I feel like we're missing a lot here. Yeah, what if we just say, nah, I'm out. Don't really feel like it.
Are you serious? No, you have to do it.
Alright, let's do this one. Let's see if we can get some control here from the narrator.
Then I guess we'll just have to see what happens. But a word of warning. If you go in prepared to hear her out, she could easily trap you in her web of lies. And the more you listen to her honeyed words, the harder it'll be to pull yourself out.
Look, I just want to tell you guys now, I'm a big wuss. I'm already getting a little freaked out. I know nothing's going on. It's probably way easier to watch this.
Then each and every one of us is doomed.
But just
So
the
sure,
ambiance
go,
and
talk
it's
to her.
eerie.
See how that turns out for all of us.
Alright, let's go.
You make your way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within. We're not going to go through with this, right? She's a princess. We're supposed to save princesses, not slay them. Ignore him. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Oh. This is getting interesting. A little split personality disorder going on here.
The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. The only furniture of note is a plain wooden table. Perched on that table is a pristine blade.
We got seems pretty scripted here.
The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
I wish I could ask you guys, are we going with the blade or are we going with that? Are we really going to go kill a princess? Violence is never the answer, but is an option.
You take the blade from the table. It'd be rather difficult to slay the princess and save the world without it.
I don't want to go. I want to go home. I want to go back to the woods.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from the ancient wood. If the princess really lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor.
I've played some other horror games and stuff like that for fun with my buddies, but this, I don't like how powerless I feel. You're just along for the ride. Whatever happens,
Her voice carries up
you.
the stairs.
Who's there?
Sounds a little manipulative. What do? We click this?
She sounds dangerous. It's almost as if she's the one in charge down here.
I guess we'll find out.
Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation.
Let's be pleasant. Let's start with a greeting.
Don't be a stranger. It's been so long since I've had any visitors. Come on down.
She seems nice.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement.
She can't be that bad.
She's so coldly beautiful. Is she really a threat to the world?
I'm already falling for it.
Focus on the task at hand.
And there you are. Are you here to kill me or something?
Not necessarily. Let's see. No, of course I have to go with that. No.
Then drop the knife.
We're holding that. We didn't conceal the knife?
We should. It'll go a long way to building trust with her. Don't you dare. It's fine. We can decide what we want to do after we talk to her. Maybe she really is a monster, but killing someone in cold blood isn't very becoming of us.
You know, that's sound advice, and the narrator hasn't built much trust with us.
The blade tumbles out of your trembling hands and drops to the floor with an unceremonious clang.
Thank you. Maybe now we can just talk.
Yeah, let's talk. What's going on here?
Against your better judgment, you step forward to speak with the princess face to face.
I didn't say to do that.
Unarmed.
I didn't say to do that.
We'll be fine. I don't know what you're hoping to accomplish here, but I can assure you there's no reasoning with her. Just make sure you don't forget about the blade on the floor. You're going to need it.
Okay.
So here we are. What an awkward start to a relationship.
I like this one. It's blunt, straight to the point. Why not?
Do you?
Nope, no clue. No idea. Help me out. I know what I've been told. Apparently. Allegedly. Good choice of words.
Don't just tell her that.
Is that why they threw me down here? But I don't want to hurt anyone. I like the world, I think. I don't remember much about it, to be honest. I've been down here a long time.
Just how long has she been down here?
If I'm supposed to be capable of ending the world, then how did I wind up here, chained to a wall? Have they told you why I'm allegedly so dangerous?
No, they've told me nothing. Really, I've been told enough. I was hoping you'd tell me. No. And if I'm being honest, I'm more inclined to trust you and I'm inclined to trust them. I was hoping you'd tell me.
Ending the world seems like an awful lot for just one person to do. I wouldn't even know where to start.
I believe her.
I didn't say that.
She doesn't have to know how to destroy the world to be capable of doing it.
It's a fair point.
At the end of the day, whatever the two of us have going on down here is about trust.
There's not a lot of that going on.
Whoever sent you to slay me claimed I was a threat to the world, but they didn't tell you why.
Right.
That doesn't sound right to me. And I don't think it sounds right to you either. Otherwise, we'd be killing each other instead of talking.
She has a point. There's a reason I've been telling you to question the situation, and there's a reason you've listened.
So, I could tell you that I'd lead a quiet life in the woods, or that I'd open an orphanage, or that I'd do any other number of good things that I'm sure you think you want to hear.
Well, no, if you said that, I wouldn't be inclined to believe you.
But you don't really know me, do you? What can my word possibly be worth in a situation like this?
Fair enough.
She's right about one thing. Her word isn't worth anything.
Like I said, it's all about trust. Blind trust. So do you trust me, the prisoner, the victim, the princess clearly incapable of ending the world? Or do you trust whoever put me here?
I don't know. It's too soon to make a decision.
She's wrong. This isn't about trust. This is about risk.
I like that.
We stand to lose everything, all for the sake of one person, and a subjugating monarch no less.
How would I get you out of here? Yeah, how rude of me. What's your name?
She hesitates before answering.
You can address me as Your Royal Highness, or Her Majesty. Any honorific should do, really.
Oh, well, let's not forget I have a
Again,
knife.
she offers no specifics. No matter how hard you try, you'll never get a straight answer out of her.
Getting a little arrogant with a guy with a knife, lady. Okay, we've talked enough. How long you been here?
Too long.
Not fun.
You can't. Don't.
I'm guessing you don't have the key then. I'm sure there's a key somewhere. Well, we can always put that knife to good use.
Her sharp eyes settle on the... She isn't suggesting what I think she's suggesting. She is. I'm sure of it.
Oh? Have you decided what to do with...
You know why you're here.
We're gonna keep you locked away down here at least for a bit. We can get to know each other better while I decide what to do. This is tough. I really have no clue what to do yet. I'll be honest. I don't trust her. I don't trust anybody in this game. They're doing a good job, though. I want to slay the princess, but I'd feel bad slaying the princess. But I don't want to get her out yet. That's why I guess they give you the third option. Let's try that. Let's see what happens.
That seems like a pretty good compromise. Leaving her alive is too risky. If you don't deal with her soon...
I don't like that.
One way or another, I'm going to find a way out of here. You can make it easier for both of us if you help. And if you don't...
I'm getting scared. I feel like I should slay the princess now.
I can promise that you'll come to regret that decision.
Ugh.
You have to make a choice. Let's hope for all our sakes it's the right one.
We're gonna do it. I really don't want to, but I'm getting a little scared of her.
You charge the princess, blade trembling in your hand, but you've already lost the battle. She casually sidesteps your thrust before knocking you to the ground with a single blow from her elbow.
We shouldn't have hesitated.
This was a setup.
But she doesn't stop there. She kicks you a few times
Tip
for
of my
good
hand.
measure, the pointed tip of her shoes feeling like a pickaxe against your fracturing bones. making sure you stay down. As you lie, crushed and broken on the basement floor, the princess kneels on your throat with the kind of weight you didn't think her slight frame could possibly possess. As you gasp for air, she eyes you with an intense curiosity. You shouldn't have let that fear creep into your heart. You had the upper hand, and now look at you.
Is this really the best you could do? Look at you. Completely broken. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't a little disappointed.
I think we made an oopsie whoopsie.
She applies more pressure, slowly squeezing what's left of your life out of your lungs. This is the end, isn't it? I'm afraid it is. Everything goes dark, and you die.
Well, thanks for watching, guys. Tune in for the next video. Okay, we're on chapter 2.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess.
Feels an awful lot like chapter 1.
You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will...
Yeah, she's gonna kill me again.
Again? People don't die twice. You haven't even met the princess, and I hardly think she'd be capable of killing someone as skilled and courageous as yourself. If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way. You know I can hear you, right? It's going to be a lot harder than you think to keep secrets from me. What does it matter what he knows? There's nothing we can do to stop her. She's just going to kill us again. She is not going to kill you unless you let her, but slaying the princess and saving the world is going to be much more difficult than it has to be if you spend the whole time second-guessing yourself.
Well, this really did already happen. Why should I listen? Why should I bother doing anything? I like that.
Those are two very different questions, but fine, I'll indulge you if that's what it takes to get you moving. Let's say for a moment that this really is the second time you've met me, or at least a version of me. You died last time, which probably only happened because you didn't listen to me.
This is true.
Of course we died. We couldn't land a single blow on her, and she broke every bone in our body before she decided to let us die. What were we supposed to do to stop her then? What are we supposed to do to stop her now? It's pointless. She's just a princess. Slaying her shouldn't have been difficult, but congratulations. You've been given another chance to actually do this right. And I believe your other question was something along the lines of, oh, what's the point of doing anything? If you're asking that, it sounds to me like you're making the rather dangerous assumption that your actions last time around didn't have any consequences.
I agree.
What do you mean? Of course there weren't any consequences. The princess killed us and now everyone's right back where they started. That sounds pretty consequence-free to me. Yes, but in this purely hypothetical scenario, that begs the question of how you got back here. Did time simply rewind itself, or were you instead transported to a different world entirely?
There's a lot going on here.
If it's the latter, what do you think happened after you died?
I don't know.
Do you think the people there lived happily ever after? Or do you think that the princess, left unhindered, brought about the end to everyone and everything, just like I told you she would? If she ended the entire world, why should we even bother? We might as well just walk up to that cabin, break her chains and let her do whatever she wants. It's all the same in the end. Just because she's capable of ending the world doesn't mean you're not capable of slaying her. Both of those things can be true at the same time. So chin up. I believe in you.
You know what? I like the narrator now. We're going to do exactly what he says and see what happens. Proceed to the cabin.
A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her.
Okay, we're on a
Don't
mission.
believe a word she says.
We're on a mission this time.
We might as well just pledge ourselves to her and stop pretending we're capable of doing anything in this situation. She probably doesn't even need to try to overpower us.
Yeah, get out of my head.
Can we tone down the pessimism just a smidge?
That's right.
I'm not being a pessimist. I'm just being realistic.
Every pessimist's favorite statement.
You're being annoying. Just ignore their bickering, and whatever you do, don't pledge yourself to her. I cannot stress enough how absolutely catastrophic that would be for everyone, yourself included. I agree. If she's wrongfully imprisoned, then we should rescue her, but if he's telling the truth, we shouldn't just hand her the world on a silver platter. Rescue her? Given the stakes of the situation, there isn't really a difference between rescuing her and pledging yourself to her. Either would be terrible. So please try to ignore both of those knuckleheads and focus on saving the world. Let's not make this harder than it has to be.
If that's what you want, I guess I don't have a say here.
Alright. I know I tried to strike her first, but let's remember how much she relished.
The interior of the cabin is larger and more grandiose than its humble exterior would suggest. The only furniture of note is a massive marble altar with a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
This is different.
Why do we feel so small?
We don't feel small. We are small.
I'm not approaching the mirror.
You take the blade from the altar. It would be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon.
Let's just ask him.
That's because there isn't a mirror. There's the altar, the blade sitting on the altar, and the door to the basement. There's nothing else in here. There's definitely a mirror. There isn't.
Who cares if there's a mirror? We're all going to die anyway, and I'm sure that if we looked in there, we'd just see something sad and miserable looking back at us. We don't need any reminders of what we are. It would only make things worse.
Alright, you piqued my curiosity.
For the last time, you're not going to die unless you let it happen. And luckily for you, there isn't a mirror, so no one needs to worry about though, for what it's worth, if there were a mirror, I'm sure that you wouldn't find anything sad or miserable in it looking back at you. You probably look perfectly normal.
Even the narrator wants me to look now.
Do you not know what we look like?
He knows. He just doesn't have the heart to tell us.
Care about whether being lied to. That'd be funny. Let's see this one.
As do I. And yeah, there is. I'm not lying to you. Use your eyes. There is no mirror. Why would I lie about something so meaningless? What good would a mirror even do? Let you waste time preening yourself instead of doing what needs to be done.
This game is messing with my head. Alright, let's look.
You walk up to the wall next to the basement door. It's a wall. There isn't much to see here.
It's not a wall. It's not a wall.
This really isn't funny.
Okay. Little scrub-a-dub-dub.
You reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall. I hope you know how ridiculous you look right now.
What?
We should count ourselves lucky. Some things are better left unseen.
Maybe that's because you haven't actually been here. I hope this means you'll finally drop that ridiculous past life nonsense. You haven't died, and you certainly haven't been killed by the princess.
Alright. Let's go in there. We're not gonna play around. We're on a mission. We're gonna little stab
The
action.
door to the basement creaks open, revealing a spiral staircase. Its steps almost as deep as you are tall. The smell of incense drifts up from below. For a moment, you almost feel at ease.
I don't feel at ease. I feel like I'm on a mission.
Huh. This is actually kind of nice.
Stop playing with my subconscious.
It's still a stone basement. If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her booming voice rolls up the stairs.
Is that a guest I hear? Don't linger on the stairs. Come down and witness me.
You weren't kidding when you said it was booming. She wasn't like this last time. We need to get down there. She wants us to see her. We
need to see her.
Should we be worried about your sudden change in attitude? Just a few minutes ago you were going on about how pointless everything was. Now you want to go down there.
It doesn't matter what that little voice says. He's not the one making the decisions. Though if his ramblings get you to the princess, they get you to the princess.
Here we go.
Making your way down the spiral staircase is a time-consuming and exhausting effort, every step requiring you to clamber over one edge before dropping to the next. But soon the end comes into view, and you tumble to the bottom,
I don't like the black screen.
entering the vast, temple-like room beyond.
Guys, sorry to cut it off there. I figured that'd be a good duration to cut off for the first video. I know, big suspenseful moment, but thank you so much for watching my first YouTube video. I really hope you enjoyed the content. Of course, like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. I think I'm actually most excited for the comments. I do enjoy psychological thrillers. I'm a big fan of them, and I'd love to see what you guys think as you watch the videos and progress through them, what your hypotheses are of what's really going on in this game and what the right decisions might be. Thanks so much for tuning in. I look forward to seeing you guys in the other videos, and please enjoy the rest of your day.